This is a painted disaster. We all know that. But should I restore it? Should I paint it the right way? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This is going to be so much work. Hello, amazing humans. My name is Alumine, and welcome back to Just Keep Sending. If you love furniture transformations that are honest, satisfying, and full of helpful tips, you're in the right place. Let's send through this. We're going to do this, okay? We are going to face the music and dance. Also, let me apologize for this shot, not the most flattering one. I filmed an entire intro for this project in the car and it was terrible. So I'll keep this version short, but the story is so good, not to tell. I spotted this pizza on Facebook Marketplace listed for just $40 and immediately knew what it was. I messaged the seller on Sunday morning and nothing. No response. I figured I had missed my chance. But then, the next morning, on a rainy DFW day, I got a message. Can you pick it up today? My brain instantly went, heck yeah. But then came another message. I have more than 150 messages, please call me. They included their phone number. So I called. Sure, it looked a little sketchy at first, but I know how to be careful. And there was no way I was letting this opportunity go just because I was nervous. So I drove to this beautiful arched home in Highland Park, Dallas, and met Brad. Turns out he was awesome. He was actually just as excited as I was that I got the dresser. It had been left behind by the previous tenant, and he even took a picture of me with it before I loaded it up. While we were talking, I told him, look, you can't raise the price now, but the reason you've got so many messages is because this Broyhill Saga, properly refinished, can easily sell for $1,000. I even marked the listing as sold for him because he didn't know how to. And just like that, I drove away with one of the best marketplace finds I have ever scored.
We made it home. I mean, we, who is the other on this we situation, right? Yeah. The person that was selling it helped me put it in the car. And it has some metal brackets in the back. And that's why we didn't put it back down. So I hope that the veneer is okay.
Ah! Why do mosquitoes always get me on the elbow? When you're delicious, there's nothing you can do. This is a painted disaster and we all know that. You should see it from up close how bad this is. I'm not against painting furniture in this channel, you all know that. We just want it to be done the right way. And this is not the right way, so we're gonna fix it.
Alright, now what are we here for? Let's get a close up to this.
This is all latex paint, which is great. I can see, I don't know. Can you see? What's that under there? Is it walnut or mahogany? I don't know. We're gonna have to check. I still don't know if I want to do chemical stripper. I mean, here we're gonna have to do chemical stripper because these stars, those are gonna be hard to remove. But I just inspected the whole piece, and to be honest, there's not a lot that needs to be done here regarding restoration. A lot of sanding, yes, of course, but there's one drawer that the track is a little loose. This is the original hardware, which is beautiful, that it will be restored as well. And yeah, there's a little stain on some of the drawers. Nothing that some sanding cannot fix, Ooh, underwear. Anybody needs some blue underwear? There is only a part of veneer missing down here, and the other side is very small, but in here it is not only missing, it also seems like this one was loose and they try to just paint it over. So I'm gonna have to take care of this. And beautiful paint drips, right? And that's pretty much it. Hopefully they roll the paint, clearly, because they couldn't reach all the way down there. But this one's gonna be fun. I hope you stick around.
It was extremely necessary to let the drawers air out in the sun. After having the piece with me for a few hours, I realized it wasn't smelling so well. I sprayed some vinegar with water and let them dry. This is gonna be my first experiment with this. We are putting, well, we have the neighborhood cat in here. Hey, we're gonna try using this because it's the only one I have. And I know that this is gonna come so easily, but so easily with the heat gun, but this is the one that has the stars. I really want to put chemical stripper in the stars. This is gonna be a test. We always do a test board or a test section or a test piece, whatever you want to call this. But we always test first because it might not work and you wasted a lot of product. So that is something to have in mind. It is very hot, so I might cover it with plastic because in this garage, all means I spill on the floor. Come here, Lighton. So yeah, I'm thinking that I might need to cover it because of the time of the heat inside the garage. My garage is not an insulated garage. This is more like a shed type of workshop. But the way I did it one time when I used this primer is I applied it in 2 doors, and I put the chemical stripper on the 2 doors, and then I put them one on top of the other, so that way the same surface of the 2 parts I was stripping was acting as a seal. So that's what I did last time. That worked really well. But now, as this is going to be a test, and I'm gonna come back to this tomorrow after work. Oh, also, I always use the same brush because I really don't need a new brush every time I use chemical stripper. And if this works, we're gonna keep on doing this. And if it doesn't work, we stop. Okay, I wasn't going to do this. This was supposed to take 24 hours. 24 hours, but it's already coming off. This is already coming off. Just like this. Just like this. Just like this. Look at that. In another episode of Don't Do As I Do, Do As I Say, don't scrape against the grain as I am doing here. I don't know what I was thinking. So to remove the paint from the stars, I just came back the next day and it came right off like a piece of rubber. It was so satisfying. Remove this hardware so I can clean it and also strip all of this. These, I don't know if you can see, it looks like it's Bakelite, and this is just alloy. I don't know what's gonna happen when I clean them, but they are super dirty over here. You can see the grease. So my idea is to use the heat gun, even though it is like 45 Celsius outside. But I'm gonna try to strip it with the heat gun. See how this goes. Getting a good angle for you to see, it was very hard, so I'll just fast forward this a little bit. It is funny how I was so confident that the heat gun was going to do the work, but it didn't, which surprised me. I was definitely sure that this latex paint was going to be just easy to remove. It's not lifting. That's weird. That's very weird. Why is it not lifting? I mean, look, it was bubbling at all, but it wasn't coming off. And this is not my first rodeo. I am not sure why it wasn't working, but well, let's move to a less painful step. Okay, we're moving to chemical stripper. I don't think I want to do this like this. It's making too much dust. I'm moving back to chemical stripper. There are hours and hours of prep work in this dresser, to the point that I picked it up in July and I finished it by November. So that is how much this dresser took me. I know that I had some other projects in between, so I was always putting it in the back burner because I wasn't really mentally ready to deal with all of this. I
I really want to take this moment to thank everyone that loved my videos and comment and maybe have been waiting for a new one. I know life have been super busy for me with commissions and the moving and trying to do my own editing again, so thank you. And if you're new, welcome. I share videos whenever I can now, so don't forget to hit the notification bell so YouTube can tell you when I upload. I share videos of what I do from my workshop in Dallas, while also hoping to inspire, teach, or just entertain with my eco-friendly practices, dorky humor, and a lot of mistakes.
Can we call this Cookie Monster? What do you think?
I put a cardboard on the floor so I could reach these sides without worrying about like it falling on the floor. So I just put some cardboard down there. Yes, even though this stripper is great, there will be parts where it is still a little bit more stuck than others, and that's normal, so patience is key.
This guy is trying to eat my... Yeah, no, you cannot eat that. I know this stripper is not toxic, but it's also not for you to eat. Straight to the trash. Can you do this with your chemical stripper? Like this? You just touch it? Just remember also, a lot of eco-friendly chemical strippers, they are not eco-friendly anymore when they become in contact with your thing you're trying to remove. Just saying. Oh, look at that. Can you see the walnut behind, under here? Can you? My blade is very dirty. I usually don't scrape wet. That's why it's all stuck. I'm going to file it. I have these. It's a sharpen, the size of a credit card. It has different grits. This is for sharpening something very fast. It helps for small blades, pocket knives and stuff like that. I have seen many people using it with their carbide scraper, and if you don't have one of these, I have done it before with a 400 wet sanding sponge, and I put WD-40. I'll link a video for you all. I think this is 600. Okay, this is 1200, 325, which is the most coarse one, and 600. So the way you should always do is you start with the coarse. That's how you, oh sorry, with the coarse. That's how you sharpen your blades always. So you start with the coarse, and this is the same concept as any knife in kitchen. It has a little loop here, so you can do this. Put a little water, and you just go. It's dirty. Mosquito. It's dirty, so I'm gonna clean it first. And we move to 600. Same.
background noise was awful, so I had to mute this part. I really love this stripper for the easy cleanup too. I just use warm water and detergent, and sometimes I clean with a green sponge or a brush. I just have to keep an eye on the veneer or the joints and let it dry very well.
Don't let the water sit there for too long. It's just a scrub.
If you made it this far, thank you. That tells me you're just into this nut job as I am. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're enjoying it, and subscribe if you're learning something or want more furniture projects, problem solving tips, and the occasional oops, don't do that moment. I'd love to have you stick around. Wait, what? More of these? Yes, Illumine, that was just a buddy. We still have to do the drawers.
Some dovetails have not been painted, and that makes me happy. But as I said before, just some. Okay, today is the day. I have to remove paint from the wood grain. I also put acetone in this bottle because it's easier to do this way. So yeah, it's time to do this, you know? It is time to do this. I'm not gonna use a paper towel. I'm just gonna use this rag that I want to throw away already. This is just gonna be for camera purposes, but I am going to start wiping from the corner so I know where I wiped, because everything needs to be cleaned. You see, there's still so much paint inside. So much paint. Good luck to me. Don't forget to wear gloves and eye protection, because the acetone jumps everywhere with the bristles. Perfect? No. Better? Heck yeah.
All those curves and all the paint in all the drawers is the reason why I procrastinated this dresser so much. But believe it or not, I did accomplish removing all the paint from the drawers.
I'm gonna try to remove that with acetone. I have this Dollar Tree brush set. I got 3 different types. This is the wire brush. This is the zinc, if I'm not mistaken, and this is nylon. Sorry, brass, stainless steel, and nylon. I'm gonna first try with the nylon because I don't want to ruin the finish that much, and then I'm gonna choose the softer one from these two and go with it. I think the softer one is just stainless steel. said I was gonna start with the other one. I went over with the brush. I am funny. Does this work? Not so much.
To be able to continue to remove the paint with acetone, I had to put it on its side. So I had to stand on the chair to do each side. And then on the bottom, it was easier as I just had to kneel on the floor. And being eaten by the mosquitoes. Nothing serious.
Can you see the mosquitoes flying around? Can you see them? It's just me.
So we're gonna tackle those two stains on the top. I could have used oxalic acid, which I have, but I decided to try my luck with Barkeepers Friend, which main active ingredient is oxalic acid, and it allows me to scrub with the brush without making too much of a mess. Regardless that I start on the stain and then apply evenly in all the top, it is never recommended to leave more in one place than on the other for too long because it might generate stain. And remember to clean the drips on the sides so it doesn't leave a mark. You see me doing that here and there. Some people clean it with baking soda. I just rinse it very, very well a couple of times with a clean rag each time. In case you're curious, like me, the oxalic acid is a chemical. It is usually found in plants and vegetables, and it is very effective as an industrial grade cleaning agent. It removes stains, and it's also used for bleaching. So we have to be careful because if you buy it pure, the appearance is odorless and it's crystalline. This needs to be handled with care still. Make sure that you're not breathing it in, and you can dilute it in warm water. It is corrosive and toxic in large quantities, so we always have to be careful. Make sure you always wear gloves and eye protection to ensure proper ventilation when using this cleaning agent pure. Yes, we have reached the end of sanding. I gave the whole piece a final sand with 150 grit, and we were done. There wasn't a lot of repair, and one I kind of tackled it with a Barkeepers Friend, but there are a few scratches and fills that needed to happen before adding the stain. Do you see that? Seems like the drawer suffered an accident. I just think I did my final sanding. I want to fill that with quartz good filler. To fill the veneer, my favorite method is tinting the quartz good filler. I have used stain in the past, but I found that it works better if I tint it with water-based paint and then add water. Well, that shot is completely out of frame, but I mixed it until I got a consistent paste. I filled the sides, as well as where there was a lot of veneer missing, and still some teal left over as well. What I love about this product is that it's very easy to overfill and repair to guarantee full coverage in one application. It does take a little longer to dry compared to a solvent-based wood filler. I have been doing this with all the raw wood pieces. I blow them because I noticed that the vacuum and the wet rag doesn't really remove all the dust from the wood pores. And to have better absorption of the stain, it is important to have a clean surface. Here are the drawers side by side, so it's very easy to see the difference between the blown and the not blown. I didn't show this on camera, but I completed my sanding after the filler with 150 grit because I will be using a gel stain. If I were using a penetrating stain, I would be sanding to 220 on the day of staining. This was November by 5 p.m. and it was fully dark inside the shop. Granted, it was a week after daylight savings. So the next week, I ended up going to Harbor Freight and I got myself these 2 shop lights and it was a game changer. I spent less than $40 on them, so I will link them below. To apply the gel stain, I never sand higher than 150. I apply a light coat of mineral spirits that act as a wood conditioner for the gel to slide smoothly and apply evenly in all the surface. I go in every direction and I do a final wipe in the direction of the grain. I wait a few seconds and wipe off all the excess with a clean rag. Sometimes use a shop towel, but in this case I had this shirt that still had some life left, but it had some holes, so it cannot be donated. Do you notice that stain? Yes, it is still there. Let's see what happens after the stain. I'm sure that's not enough. That doesn't matter. This light is killing me. Okay. And on the contrary of penetrating stain, you go everywhere, in every direction. That's why the edger is perfect for gel stain. I'm not sure if you can see, but I am really spreading it all over. I am using a paint edger that I find at the hardware store where I can replace the pads. It is so much easy to use for bigger surfaces. That's how I do this. Do this at 5:20. And get all the drawers, the two sides. And tomorrow I'll be doing the legs and I'll be doing the inside of the drawers. I mean the carcass of the drawers. Why? Because it's dark. If it was summer, probably. But daylight saving was this weekend, so. I ended up double checking properly using the desk lamp to illuminate. When we don't have good light, we do what we can, right? Yesterday was late, but I put this to dry outside because we need to lay our rags flat. The gel stain can spontaneously combust any minute, so we always have to lay down our rags and everything. Once it's completely dry, that's when we can dispose. Yeah, I taped. Can you believe that? I mean, I paid $9 for this delicate tape last week because I really needed it. So I might as well use it, you know? So, same process, same process. I need to make sure I'm not removing parts where I need to keep the stain. I'm using the delicate tape because the stain is not fully dry, so I'm making sure that I am not going over that. And for the interior, that you probably can see from there, I'm going to be painting brown, same as the side of the drawers and the dovetails and all of that. I will be using a very similar color, but I will be painting. I will not be staining. It doesn't make a lot of sense to just like kill myself trying to stain that and color match all that when I can just make sure it is matching the color. And that's very common in certain MCM pieces, that they actually paint brown-ish around. So well, there's something you should know about me. I think at some point I have to come clean about this. And that is that I don't know how to use a foam brush. I don't know. I have no idea how to use a foam brush. To hurry up. So checking from different angles help to see if there is full coverage. It's going to dry a lot lighter than the walnut because by default the walnut is darker than the oak. That is what these legs are made of. But it doesn't matter. I will see how it looks once I'm done, and if I like it, I will leave it like that, and if I don't, I will tone it. And for vertical surfaces, the gel stain is the best. As soon as I was done with the staining, I removed the tape and let it fully dry. Okay, let's let this dry. We did one coat of top coat and it's looking great. And then I have this here. Also, just one coat so far. I'm going to give a light scuff sand because it is a little rough. And we're gonna do the other coat. We're gonna do 3 coats and then I'm gonna start color matching. These doors needed a little extra love. I did a custom brown using brown and black acrylic paint just to cover the sides and the dovetails. As you can see, there is still some teal shadow, and covering that to keep a professional look was super important. This took me 5 to 7 minutes per side, so more than 10 minutes per drawer. Only doing this was more than 1 hour of work. So yes, the details count towards the overall time, but they are so worthy. And this is something very common on MCM pieces. They don't stain the sides, they just paint them to a brownish color to match the stain. For cleaning the hardware, this is how it looks. And the difference between this one and these two is abysmal. So I have no other choice than evening out the color first and then recreate the lines so they can all match as close to the original as possible. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have my kits ready, my easy vinyl sealer, all my stuff. This means we're color matching today. I don't know if I'm gonna need these ones, or if I'm just going to be okay with this. We'll see. This was one of those very first days of super cold weather, so my nose was dripping and the blendels were super hard. So to patch both sides, it took me like half hour. If you have any questions about any Moha compatibility or any of the products I use, let me know in the comments. I love to help. Mohawk are super reserved with their products because they want you to do their course, and most of it's learned by doing. The main problem in here is not the blending itself, it's just that there was still a lot of blue paint under the filler that is still popping. So we're gonna do a light color of this one. It doesn't really matter which color I'm using, because maybe I can tell you, yes, this one is harvest brown, but most of the ones I use are usually the mocha, that is a light color, perfect brown's my favorite, mocha brown, and true brown, that is darker, and burnt umber, that might not look like the right color, burnt umber, but actually is really good. Once you put it on and compare with the other ones, it looks like really good. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And remember that it doesn't really have to be perfect. You just have to go at it, you know, and that's why I do this. I just blend the tip, and most people will tell me I'm doing things wrong. But what matters is the end result, not how you do it. You can do it however you want, as long as you end up with what you want. That is not seeing the repair. And why I use Easy Vinyl Sealer is because Easy Vinyl Sealer will be compatible with the water base. That is what I use down here. And the blend of mohawks that need lacquer. After that, I worked on those stains on the top. Before I show you how far this piece have come, can we please remember how this Broyhill Saga Dresser used to look like before? Because I am still amazed. At the end of the video, there will be scenes of my next episode, so please stay tuned. And yes, this is done! It took me so long because there were a few pieces in between that were more urgent or needed. I added a few details. I used a paint marker to draw the lines across the stars like the original one, but I forgot to film it. And the handles were a trial, so I also didn't film it. I sprayed a base coat of gold and then mixed some paints to create the brownish look and ended up top coating it all. I also ended up applying toner on the frame because the color variations were too much. Do you want to guess how long it took to sell? I listed on Tuesday and sold by Saturday. I almost listed for less than I was actually planning. Granted, my area is kind of special. They prefer a green painted dresser than this beauty. I leave the profit breakdown for you to take a look at the numbers, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this piece. And don't forget to hit that like button too. It helps the channel so much so I can get to more people. And if this is your first time, at the end there will be a suggested video for you to watch next. I hope you stay. Again, thank you very much for sticking around, and this piece proves one more time that everything deserves a second chance, and it can be transformed with some love, paint, or stain, and a little bit of skills. And remember, skills can be learned. See you again in the next video. Bye!